Okay, welcome to the Huddle, everybody. March 19th, a couple days after St. Patty's Day. Everybody doing all right after too much corned beef? And oh wait, some of you guys didn't do corned beef here. Did you do corned beef, Cody?
Trenton and Nicole did. They had their daughter's birthday party Sunday, so
So you ate
we
some
had
corned
that.
beef there?
And
Good.
Trenton's like, "Will you stop at VG's and grab some Bush Light?" He's like, "I got some green food coloring." So we had some green beer.
I just want you to know that there is absolutely nothing Irish about green beer. Just throwing that out there.
I don't care. It's beer.
Okay, so I actually did, since Brian's not here today to scout the sky for me. I actually turned on the outdoor camera there so we could see that mostly blue sky. And it's like winter again here the week before most people's spring break. And I don't know, it must be my age or something that I feel like I need to talk about the weather when we start the show. But there, I talked about the weather. So let's go ahead and start with our gratitude. And since Mr. Cody's to my left, he gets to start.
Thankful that the sun's shining. The weather's trying to change into spring, and business has been good lately. The market's picking up, so I'm just thankful for that all around. Thankful that my family's healthy, and yeah, everything seems to be rolling pretty good right now. So enjoying it while it lasts.
Good, good.
Connor.
Mr. Connor Norton.
Hopefully get warmer soon. Look forward.
You pull that microphone a little bit closer to you, buddy. Give us that again.
Just thankful that the weather's starting to change and hopefully get warmer soon. Some better weather.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lean into it. Lean into it.
Yeah, you got to do the whole.
And Andrea's off. Andrea's off camera, but we'll welcome her gratitude.
Weather as well. Glad it's spring and warmer days are ahead.
Absolutely. Tracy.
Weather, but with that, the extended daylight. It's much more pleasant showing homes and properties when the sun is out and it's not all dark and you got your flashlights.
Amen to that. Amen to that. It's a lot better showing houses with extra daylight.
Yes, it is.
Agree.
But you still may need the flashlight for the basement. You never know.
That's
True.
true. Don't give up on the flashlight. You're right.
Yep, always have a flashlight.
Flashlight and WD 40. You never know if that lock's going to work.
That's a good. I don't think I have WD 40 in my vehicle.
Always carry it.
Good idea. Well, I wanted to kick off conversation with just a statement, I guess, and you guys can chime in with it if you'd like. But the buzz in the news right now is all about this lawsuit settlement from the National Association of Realtors and their $418 million settlement. And we know for a fact that it is going to change some things about how real estate is done nationwide. Uh, what I want to say, as far as our response to it, we are all going to get questions. You know, what do you think? And my official response right now is we're going to wait and see. We're going to let the government three-letter agencies and our local Michigan Association of Realtors and our local Association of Realtors weed through the language. I welcome, some state attorneys' opinions on it. So I think right now we don't have an official opinion. We don't have an official statement on it, because I think that it is wise to sit and see what happens. Now, these proposed changes, or these changes, are not going to take place until July 1st. So we don't have to react right now. We just need to learn and observe,
Yep.
and see how it impacts not just our business, but our clients. It's going to impact our clients. So to rush to an opinion or judgment on it, I think would be a mistake. So we're just going to take the time. I mean, this just all happened early or late last week. So uh, there's a lot of time to learn about how it really is going to affect us, because it is more than just the state licensing or the state board. the National Association of Realtors and the Michigan Association of Realtors. And it's even more than just our clients in our business. The mortgage industry is most likely going to be impacted in some way. Probably the legal industry as well. Um, there are some states that are not um, escrow or title company. They use escrow and attorneys, and so it's going to change, or it's going to impact potentially a lot. And we're just not ready to issue a statement about it at this point officially. You agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, we're here working on it, working, getting the knowledge, innovating, how we're going to present these changes. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's going to impact some clients, but it's not going to change the way we do our business. We always have done our business, with our consultations and all that. We presented this info really no differently than we will in the future. Just going to answer the questions probably a little differently, and we just want the info to make sure that we do that properly, that we guide our clients in the right way. So that's my take on it.
I, I couldn't agree more. And I think that is a key point to make, Cody, is that we have that this lawsuit, I think, is aimed at the lack of transparency in the real estate industry. And you have to remember, not every state operates the same way we do. So
Mhm.
we aren't even fully aware of what policies or procedures are under attack in other states. I don't know that. But what we do know, what we've always done, has been full transparency. Our consultation process allows for that and facilitates that. And this morning we examined some of our procedures and our documents and looked for a lack of transparency. And at this time, I don't see it. And now I'll have to try. I'll have to uh, compare that to the policies as they roll out and see if we can identify any spots where we haven't been fully transparent. But that is a big part of what we do, is being fully transparent and open and honest. So I feel like you're right. It's not going to change how we approach our clients and from start to finish. It may change how we answer some questions, perhaps. Uh, you know, this also does highlight the impact that media has on any story. And now, because we are absolutely living it, we can talk a little bit about it right now. What I have seen on the news is in the headlines are a whole lot of inaccurate statements about the settlement. Ton. And I couldn't even highlight one in particular. There's just a whole lot of inaccuracies, and of course, sensationalism, fear, fear mongering, and the whole bit. So, what I would like for our community, our clients, our sphere of influence to know is, once again, don't rely on the national media to get your input. To get your take on this. Now, am I telling you not to watch it? Not at all. We have to form an opinion based on a whole lot of different inputs. So, but going to CNN, Fox, or ABC, whatever it is, they're not going to be the final authority on all of this. So,
And they're going to drive fear, I feel, because that's how they get their viewers.
absolutely, absolutely, it's a boring headline to say, "Oh, there's been some changes made. No big
And
deal."
it's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So,
I'm fortunate enough to have worked through the mortgage crisis, and it was the same thing. Media sensationalizing the crisis. Don't get me wrong, it was a real crisis, but there were a lot of false statements or ideas in certain segments of the mortgage crisis. Uh, so I've lived the fear mongering and the false statements from media for a long, long time. And the worst thing we can do is buy into that. And even if it doesn't come from the mainstream media, some YouTuber, a blogger, some guy that has a TikTok or whatever, we need to be careful about taking their opinion as well. So this can be a while before we can really let things settle in and figure out how this really does impact us. There, we got that out of the way. Let's talk about what's going on locally. Do we have any exciting news, events, or fun stuff happening?
Well, I stopped in a great new local business yesterday, Tap House, and had a long talk with John, and he talked about the Shamrock Shuffle, and he said you couldn't even walk in there. He said he did more business in that 3 hours than he does on a Saturday, and Saturday is his busy day. So I'm hearing good on that. I know Andrea was part of planning it, so it was a great event. Um, and had just had a probably half-hour conversation with him. It's hard to get out of there, but it's great to have that relationship with local business owners as well. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good. Glad to hear it was a good event. I wasn't able to make it down. I did see some pictures on Facebook, I believe it was, of just the crowds of people walking around and everything, and it looked like it was hopping. So good. Yeah, the weather. Yeah, yeah.
And we have the chocolate walk coming up, April 20th. So that will be probably the next downtown event that's
I think so.
big locally, and typically that's in February. So it'll be nice to hopefully have some nice weather for that and get another big crowd downtown and helping out the local businesses. So
Do we know? I feel like I'm going to stand in for Brian here since he's not here this morning and ask a question that's probably off the wall. But do we know? Did the planners of the chocolate walk uh, plan it for 420 on purpose? Do we know? Nobody? Probably not. Is anybody from Jars or Homegrown or Loom on the committee?
I don't know, but all I can say is genius, genius,
Hey, timing is everything in marketing, right? Yeah. No, I love the fact that we have these. The events seem more frequent now, and there seem to be every new one that gets added does better than a typical first time event. So things are things are looking nice for that. It's awesome. So Cody brought up a local business. Do we have any other local businesses we'd like to talk about or highlight? Tracy's always good for a local business.
I don't know. I'm at a loss today.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll throw one in.
This is good because we sit right here and we
Yeah.
see the amount. I mean, he's doing good. Like people in and out of there.
Yep. Yep. And also, well, I'm going to turn the camera around. We also have, just can't, they're just out of view. Around Midnight Records is another one that I feel like we should talk about. And as Dakota shuts the door while we talk about him, they he just recently started a YouTube channel that he's going to review music on, and I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool way to specialize in his business and bring music lovers towards his business. So that's cool.
I'm curious. Call to action for our viewers. Comment. How many people have a record player in their household? I would like to know.
Yeah, I'd like to know too.
Yeah. Like, is it just a nostalgic, I wish I did have one? Because you see, I mean, you see the big cabinet ones at yard sales and estate sales, and you're like, oh, they're a thing of the past. And then you see it's kind of trendy coming back. I would like to know how many of our viewers have a record player.
I know my niece had one. She's in her early to mid 20s, and she got one a couple years back. And it was, I remember at Christmas she was getting records, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, this is kind of odd," but it was trending back, and I haven't heard much about it lately. But
Well, I'll tell you that we have one at our house. We buy modern records as well as old records. In fact, on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, at my sister in law's next door, they turned on their record player and we listened to some old Irish music on the record player.
Nice.
And yesterday, going through a house, I managed to finagle my way into purchasing an old console record player that will hook up to, with an amplifier, will hook up to old house speakers. So we'll see how that works out. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a thing that has been coming back for quite a while now. And Dakota's running a pretty nice little shop over there with vinyl records. So
But he sells everything, right? Like
Yes, he does.
CDs, which those are a thing of the past anymore. Also,
Mhm. Mhm.
I've even seen on Facebook lately, so this will now be on Facebook and in probably 10 minutes. Um, cassettes,
Yeah.
old cassettes. So I remember, you wanted to listen to another song, you'd take it out, turn it around, and pop it back in.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Or the old pencil trick when the
Man, I
tape
do
gets
feel
all
old now. Geesh.
this. I think this is a critical time of year for a lot of local businesses. Frankly, as things get ramped up for spring and people get foot traffic again, I think it's super important. So the other business I would like to highlight that has some exciting news coming up is Oak and Ivory. They are expanding into a new space in a larger space. Almost, is it more than double the current space? Way more than double
I
the
say it
current
looks
space.
huge in her pictures.
600 square feet. This is going to be
Oh wow, going fourfold. Nice. 2000. Okay, still that's awesome. So Oak and
and
Ivory,
adding a new product line, correct? Men's.
yeah, I think that's super cool. Oak and Ivory will now carry men's clothing. So right now, the only places in the greater Owasso area that you can get men's clothing, new men's clothing, would be Meijer and Walmart,
Label shoppers.
label shoppers. And I don't, does Maurice's still carry men's clothes?
Mm-mm.
No. So having another place to carry men's clothes is, I think, quite needed. New men's clothes, that is.
I know we always had J.C. Penney, and
Yeah.
that's what I grew up
I always found
watching.
it funny though, around Easter time when I was a kid, all my friends would have very similar shirts or shorts or whatever because Penny's was the only place to get it from. Yeah. So good. Okay. So
I have to ask, is she going to have men's skinny jeans? Because for whatever reason, Rachel thinks that they look great on me. Let me let me let me tell you what. Well, we got skinny jeans in. Call Cody.
so what I'm hearing is Cody wants to wear skinny.
No, that's just
He just signed up to model. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
yeah.
I'm game. I don't.
Don't know if it'll help her store at all, but
Any publicity is good publicity, right?
oh man.
We could do a thing like $5 for me to model this, $25 for me to not model it.
And Connor, do you want to talk a little bit about J&J Auto
Oh well, we're closed right now, but
for spring break?
for spring break, yeah,
All right, but the shop is doing well.
yeah. We've been pretty busy, but slowed down going into spring break, so hoping to pick up once he gets back.
Good, good. All right, and they're located on Gould Street, south of Main Street. There,
Yep.
not the same business, but in the same building as Comstock Auto. All right, good. All right. Well, let's see what else we need to talk about. There's a lot going on in the real estate world around here as far as market conditions or spring market conditions. I would say we're moving into.
Well, things are a lot different number wise, I feel, than last year. Not inventory wise, but right now it's showing for Shiawassee County 73 active listings in the MLS. Clearly, you have some off market listings and stuff like that, but 73 active listings in the MLS and then 71 pendings.
Cool. Interesting.
So I feel that the buyer demand is coming up. So it's growing.
So we talk a lot about the ifs, ands, or whats in real estate, but talking about timing for selling a home as a seller, uh, a lot of sellers say that they wanted to time the spring market so that buyers were, out and ready for their listing. We always express that waiting until every other seller hits the market too is not the best idea. Of course, people's um, situations warrant whatever they warrant. If they've got work to do, their next house isn't ready or whatever. But now that we have increasing buyer demand again, um, if interest rates go down again, that increased demand will be even higher. So it's still a condition where we need more listings, period. And it really doesn't matter the season or the time of year. We have buyers to meet that demand or to meet our current inventory and beyond. If we could get another influx of listings, 20% over the previous year, I think it would start to snowball. Um, but I don't see any issues with selling houses
No,
for the
and
right price.
realistically, I mean, we've been saying this. I feel like, well, talking about records, I feel like we're a broken record right now. Talking about this since 2019, 2018, where we've been needing listing.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, 5, 6 years running. But now, more time. The lowest we were was 2022. We're down to 45 listings. So,
But we are up.
so it is growing, but it's very slow.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe we can do another call to action and ask people what's their holdup. Let them comment, and maybe that's another episode that we can address some of these. You know, is it kids being out of school? Is it what makes you think that it's not a good time? What's the holdup? How can we work around that? And kind of just debunk maybe somebody's um, maybe there's emotion behind it, maybe there's logic behind it. I'm curious, like what I'm a like, okay, we're gonna do it, let's do it. What are you waiting on?
Well, I do a little thing called door knocking, and I go and talk to homeowners on a regular basis. And when they do say, "Well, yeah, I'd sell," but that's exactly what I asked. Well, what's the holdup? They're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well, where am I going to go?" Because there's no inventory, and that's probably 80% of the answer. And I say, "Well, that's why you need to come to the office and sit down. We can come up with an action plan for you for me to find a home because all my buyers, I'm out door knocking trying to find them sellers, or I'm writing letters, or I have many different ways other than just in the ML looking in the MLS every hour, which I'm unable to do because we're out on appointments. Um, People need to know that you're doing more than just setting up an email for them.
Yes.
So to have that, but that's one of the biggest reasons I've come across is where am I going to go?
I
And that's valid.
It is,
Yeah.
it
It
is,
is valid,
but
but
we
it's
have
workable.
ways, but we
Yes.
have ways to work around it. Absolutely, and that's why you hire us.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. It's this is not no longer are the days where you sit and wait for the MLS to bring you the listing or the listing that you want to buy or whatever. It takes a diligent, hardworking agent to uncover some potentials, and that is a symptom of low inventory, but it's also a product of a very hardworking professional real estate agent.
And in this market, this is the market where whatever you're doing, you do double.
Yeah.
So, you call 10 people or 20 people in a day, now you call 40. You knock on 50 doors in a day, now you knock on 100. I mean, you double everything to uncover this for your clients.
Yeah. Very good. I honestly don't have a whole lot more to talk about, you guys, unless you have something, a topic you want to bring up. No? All right.
You have a cricket on there?
I probably do. Let me see if I can play a cricket for us real quick. Yep. You might not be able to hear it, but it's playing. Um, all right. Well, look, the Huddle is going to be on another short hiatus for spring break, but that doesn't mean the agents of Homefield, Michigan Real Estate Consultants will not be working their tails off for you and available to work their tails off for you. So don't let spring break put your real estate plans on hold. Call the agents at Homefield, Michigan Real Estate Consultants at 989-725-5088. All right, let's roll on out of here.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
You need to do a